Hello Internet, this is Barry Donegan with Exceed Your Goals Fitness, and I'm talking today on the subject of what I eat. Nutrition is of extreme importance to folks who are trying to stay in shape. And when it comes to body fat percentage, in terms of that, it's probably the number one thing that will have effects and consequences and will enhance your exercise program. Now, one thing to think about is all of our bodies are different. So it's important to take into consideration what you're dealing with. In my case, I'm a 35-year-old man that's 5'11" and weighs 159 pounds currently. When I first started my most recent return to exercise a couple of years ago, or maybe a year ago, I was about 225 pounds. Prior to that, I'd been 130 pounds. Because I'm a musician, I'd been on tour a really long time. I lost all my muscle mass on tour, eating badly, sleeping on floors, jumped off a stage, injured my low back. Due to that low back injury, I became sedentary for a little while, couldn't get out of bed hardly, blew up to 225 pounds. So in an effort to reclaim my health, I used weightlifting and stuff, and that fixed my low back pain completely. And through nutrition, I went on a hard cut shortly thereafter to trim off the fat, get the body fat percentage down. To a lot of people who like to cut or are cutting right now and like to know more information about cutting. So as far as how I cut, I started off at 2,600 calories, maybe a couple hundred grams of protein, and then I don't do the super low, extreme low carb stuff. I just kept my carbs and fats within reason in a high protein caloric restricted diet. I went down to 2,200, then I went down to 2,000, then I went down to 1,800, and during a 4-month period, about 120 days, I lost 75 pounds. I did those incremental steps down, which is consistent with what Elaine Norton would prescribe to folks. If you've heard of Elaine Norton, look him up online. He's got some great information on nutrition. However, after that, I had to figure out, okay, what am I going to do to get out of this caloric restricted diet that's so low back to a maintenance and possibly even a lean bulking diet, which is what I decided to go with, without gaining body fat back. That was kind of the challenge. And it's very difficult because usually your metabolism is really screwed up at the end of a diet and your body wants to go back to homeostasis and put all that fat back on. So what I did was I added 100 calories a week for a period of time until I got to about 2,600. Then I added 50 daily calories to my diet per week until I got to about 3,000 calories. Then I got nervous, so I started going 50 calories every other week, which took me up to about 3,200, and I held that for a few months. During which time my body weight went from since the summer of last year till about Christmas time, it went from 155 to 158. And my body fat percentage went from 10% to 5%, which I didn't think was possible at the beginning. I wasn't really expecting such good results as far as leaning out and gaining lean muscle, but it did happen. So around Christmas, I dropped my calories by 600. I went down to 2,750. Then for the 1 week, I had a week off of weightlifting, which I do every 13 weeks, which now I do institutionally with my lean bulking program. So like during my off week, I was down to 2,750. Then when I went back to the gym, I bumped it up 250 calories to make up for the exercise difference, up to 3,000. And then I went up 100 calories a week until I got to 3,200. And then I went up 50 calories a week until I got to 3,400. And I held that for a month. Now that took my weight up to about 159. And this week I'm on a cutting diet, but this time I'm at 2,800 for my cut rather than 2,750. I'm continuing to increase my calories a little bit over time because as I gain more muscle, I need more calories to feed the existing muscle without losing it. Now, most recently, I've realized that I maintain my weight at about 3,000 calories, 200 plus grams of protein, 350 plus grams of carbs, and about 100 grams of fat. This is what maintains my weight. I slightly gain primarily fat-free lean muscle at about 3,400 pounds right now. I mean 3,400 calories right now per day. So this kind of puts into perspective how I've been eating. Now, I don't have one of those lightning fast, you can eat whatever you want metabolisms. I was overweight, a couple of years ago. So, the reverse dieting that I've been doing along the lines of what Lane Norton talks about has helped me speed up my metabolism as far as I can tell. So ultimately, that's how I eat. I do count my food with my FitnessPal. I measure everything. I have a food scale. I've been within 10 calories. That's my plus minus of my calorie goal for over almost a year and a half at this point. And I check my scale weight, maybe 5 times a week, so that I can see what the results of what I'm doing actually are. So that's been my strategy so far. Feel free to comment with what you do or any questions you may have. Like the video, that helps me, and subscribe if you haven't already.